I'd like to start this. It's crazy how we don't have any guests on board, but we always have to get started on something. Take that step, and this is what we're doing. I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy, excited to take on this challenge to be one of the uh, hosts of this Kings and Queens. Um, like I had shared in the group, we are to start by introducing ourselves, a brief about ourselves. I intended to have both hosts and guests introduce themselves. I will start, and then we'll have either of you to go next. So, Isaac Haweka is an actor. I am a dialogue and dialect coach. I have had the opportunity to get casted and I've featured on a number of Ugandan projects. I haven't featured on any international projects yet. If you watch local TV, Power Magic Prime is a platform that has shown some of the projects that I've featured on. Sanyu season 3, Chandala season 2, feature films like Sabotage, in Cuba, etc. I cannot list all the projects I have been on. I also sing. I do reggae and dancehall music. Um, I've only done it on the low because of some issues that we cannot discuss here. I am a poet. Um, Generally, I should say I am an artist. Aside from the craft of singing, poetry, um, drama, film, television, I'm a logistician. I've done logistics for a number of years. Uh, I've worked for a multi international company, and it has given me, it has blessed me with quite an experience. So, if you talk about customer care, you talk about sales, you talk about anything to do with field work in terms of logistics, international trade, imports, exports, by sea, by road, by rail, and air, I'm good. If you might have any business, we can always talk. I can advise here and there. I could recommend a company or two. Yeah. Briefly, that's me as an artist, a reggae and dancehall artist. You could call me Izowexi. As an actor, I maintain Isaac Haweka, and I am happy to be here. Can we have Rachel introduce herself, please?
Hi, Isaac. Hi, Orena. I hope that's how you
Hi.
pronounce it. Um, my name is Rachel Nabanja, and born and raised in Uganda, and very proud African. Yeah, I well, I would say, mm, I would say this whole introduction always gets me confused, but I would say professionally it's finance and management, and currently I'm living in my purpose, you know with people development, people management. That's it. And finance as well. I'm in the world of, I would say, digital communication and production. And aside from that, I I do a lot. Yeah, I would say I'm passionate about some things that some are like built my skills, others I'm trying to polish my skills in that field. But I am so passionate about mental health, like good mental health generally. And it's one of the reasons why I'm here today, because aside from just speaking about it, I want to see things done, I want to see things moving. And I've done a bit of work in that line, though it had to pause for certain reasons. And one of the reasons was, the finances. That was way back in 2018. Yeah, I was doing it with a friend of mine, and we were doing it in schools because we thought, what better way to, create I rather speak about or create the awareness of being mentally stable or talking about mental health issues than the school, because it's really crucial, and it was vital to, like, you know talk about the issues, talk about what's happening, hear from young people that we could relate with, but also create an environment where they could freely speak about what's going on in their lives, try to figure it out, because we realize as we are adulting, it's for some people it's hard to have a firm social, and practical support to bank on for guidance. So if it's something that I am passionate about in so many ways, and as I'm learning and as I'm also, teaching, I find it very important that um, in the jobs we do, the homes where we are, the relationships we have, every aspect of our lives, it's there. So why not talk about it? Why not do something about it? So yeah, it's pretty much that. I mean, I do other things as well. I'm an entrepreneur, and I am also I have some bit of background in hospitality, which helps me bridge a gap in so many ways, not just my job, but other areas as well. I'm very honored to be on this platform, to be a part of this amazing, you team or people to have this conversation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Let's have Orono. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. I don't want
Sir,
to go
I'm sure
wrong
it's
about
so
it.
I was
correct,
also
sir.
confused as well, but let's wait hear from her and then get a clear understanding of the pronunciation. I always feel bad when I butcher people's names, especially the pronunciation.
Actually, Isaac, you're the first person to pronounce my name correctly. It's Orono. So
Wow.
I'll say
I
that most
am
of the answers I know most of the time. That's why it's Orono. It's my surname from my grandpa. Well, I'll introduce myself. I go by the name of Blackbird on my accounts that I because I'm into fashion design and modeling, as well as inlined in security. Yeah, I'm so delighted and honored to be on this platform at the moment, and I'm so glad to see that Men at Work we have come this far from where we started from, and more so that we are going to talk about something that is so sensitive and something that is really happening that most people don't notice. Even when you're having some mental health, you never get to notice until you do something messy. But if we're given the deal, the step or the stage to talk about it, why not? As myself in the past days or months, mostly last week and the other week, I tried to meet the ghetto kids with Mama Ghetto, the wife to Butcher, and I saw that these kids are young, but something ain't right. And it's not because they want to or because of they don't have access to certain things due to their family backgrounds and status and all, but you know, they need a listening ear. And if we are here as kings and queens to talk about it, and I hope what we're going to talk about it, we're going to put into practical to see how we can help these people overcome the situations they're in, then why not? I'm so glad to hear from you, Rachel, Isaac, and I'm sure by the end of this topic, things are gonna be really just good. But you won't mind me. At the moment, I'm working on someone else because they for it tomorrow morning. I have to do it. But yeah, Rachel, you're in such a good field, Mr. Isaac. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, myself, I'm just a flexible person. I fall everywhere. That's all I can say. But not everywhere. Where there's no liquor, I cannot really fit there. But I'm good. I can keep away from it. I saw how Isaac was looking at it. I had to grab my mug. Tea.
It's okay.
But yeah,
You
let's, yeah.
as
I'm
long
a particular, typical African culture person. So anything to do with what is bringing up our youth or our generation, because right now Uganda or Africa, us the youth that are ruling it all, we are the ones that are running the country. And if we can't listen to ourselves or help each other, like the other table, the Ugandan Musician Federation stuff, they also started something like this. We are depressed, to be honest.
yeah.
Are depressed, and we don't know that we are depressed. We are just seeing ourselves think that we want privacy, we want to keep to ourselves. But if it wasn't for depression or stress or whatever it might be, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how the evening goes. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your introductions. I am I am quite pleased with the craft that you're doing. I like fashion, the industry that I'm in, film and television and music, are closely affiliated to fashion. The characters that we portray in film are described. They are fashion in itself gives character. It's a true definition of a certain character doing a certain role. So yeah, cheers to that. Now, back to our agenda. We are to have an overview of the Kings and Queens program. Good thing we already know. Rachel has touched it, Orono has touched it, but I just want to echo a thing or two about the overview. Well, the mission to begin with is an empowered youth who is able to sustain themselves through their talent, God given gift, or whatever set of skills they are blessed with. So, as long as you are blessed with a set of skills, you are gifted with something, as long as there's something that you can do that can keep you busy, something that can collect revenue and put food on your table, something that can clothe you and feed you, then why not use it? And as long as there's an opportunity that we can give to whoever it is out there, an opportunity for a craftsman, a painter, an artist, a pencil artist, a singer, whoever is doing fashion, whoever is singing, you have that. But again, there are certain things that coming to hinder that. So in one way or another, people end up getting themselves into depression or frustrated about certain things because they know they can do something, but they just don't have the platform. They know they can do something, but the opportunity is not coming their way. They know they can do something, but so many things are just hindering them. And that's how you see someone coiling, staying back at home, not talking to anyone at all, and before you know it, they feel they are worth dead than alive. So yes, when I heard about this, when I got the opportunity to get on board, I said, why not? Because this is something that doesn't just affect people around me. This is something that affects me as an individual. I get frustrated about things, and it's not easy having to talk to anyone. It's not easy trusting anyone. So as long as we speak about it as something that can happen and it happens to everyone, people will keep dying in their own corners. I watched a video of a Kenyan mother who lost a son, a 20-year-old son, to suicide. And it touched me a lot. The mom came out, the Kenyan government and journalists, and they just had something organized to speak to the youth, to be able to just come out and speak about whatever is paining them, is whatever is disturbing them. So this boy has siblings who are a lot younger, and somehow he he withdraws from the activities that he's been doing. He's been in school, and it's because so many things were happening to him while at school, and he didn't talk about them at all. So he he's in a lot of pain, and he chooses to take his life, leaving his mom and other siblings in a lot of pain and depression. So what if the mom didn't come out to speak about it? Who else would just do the same thing because they are depressed? So yes, the vision is to make sure that youth or whoever is vulnerable out there gets empowered, feels important, that in as much as things are happening, in as much as it's getting hard, finances are low, in as much as the relationships that you're having are not as smooth, there is still a life to live. There's still people that depend on you. There's still people that love you and they want you alive. There's still people that you would inspire and motivate. So stay alive to do that, and fight on. So yeah, the projection is empowering that youth who is able to sustain themselves, but they are derailed of sorts, and the mission is to ensure a reduction of mental health related issues amongst the youth and every person in a vulnerable situation. So yeah, at least that is the projection, and I would love to have we have causes that were shared in the previous in the previous program last Friday. Sorry, I didn't attend that. And I would think that because all the causes are really broad, I would want us to touch each one the following Fridays. Uh, Today we are not touching any of that. We're not discussing anything in depth. We are simply we are here to simply understand Omulamwa wa kings and queens. I'm glad all of you understand Uganda. And how we are going to have it structured, how we are going to have it reach whoever needs to hear it. So, from you guys, I'd like to know, what are your expectations from this Kings and Queens program?
Actually, I'm sorry, just a little bit. Just to say, I think we have to first look at the reasons or the ways how to approach these people, how to build the trust in these people, because it's not only with other people. Let it start with us. We the ones who are talking about it. Because myself, I'll say that there are times when I decide to go mute. Not because I have no one to talk to, but I fear to be judged. If I tell this person that, okay, I have this difficult at work, or I have this is not going on well in my life,
Am I going to be judged? Because today's life, or the mental health going on, it's so much in youths that even love itself is breaking them, that they feel like they can't be loved anymore. Love doesn't exist if someone breaks up with them. If maybe they lose a job, there won't be any other door to open for them to opportunities. And others, we see that this job, like what I'm doing, you tell someone, be home like me, have your machines, do your work. They expect to first have something big than to start with what they can afford. So, how are we building that trust of people talking to us with their issues without feeling that they'll be judged or they'll be backbited after they have left, or they can be brought closer? Because I might come to you with an expectation that this person might fix me somewhere in what is failing me, and this person is also having an expectation from me, you know? How are we going to resolve that, or how are we going to build that trust? I hope I'm clear with this.
I think you're quite clear. What are your
Mental health doesn't
expectations?
just come from the sky and drops off, you know.
A girl
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be at school having issues. Maybe there is a boyfriend she likes. Now there is also the teacher. Now there is also the head teacher. Stuff like this. Because really, depression is so much in high school than we who are now out in the world hustling, working. Yeah, for us, we might say, okay, I'll see how to go about this. But then this kid who cannot even talk to the parent, like God you just mentioned about,
Yeah.
if I tell this one, will it stop with only that person, or is it going to go to another person? Before you know, you're stepping out of your place, and people are like, yeah, that's the one I was telling you, that's the one. This is what is killing us. But how are we going to stop?
Um, well, thank you for your submission, Orono. Um, what are your expectations, Rachel, out of this whole program of Kings and Queens?
I kind of relate with what Orono has said about building trust, because you find that most people can relate to something, you could be talking about, you could be sharing, but they're not comfortable to come out and talk about it openly, come out and share their experiences, or feel comfortable enough to ask for the support. So I would expect that from these conversations, we will be able to create, I would say, a supportive environment that is going to help become part of the group that's going to create awareness to, you know, destigmatize the whole mental health illnesses, or whatever that's around that, but also again to be able to have open conversations from or communication, um, and also empower whoever will be watching or whoever will become part of the community to not just have the resilience, but to be able to help themselves but also help other people as well. So it goes from just us, it becomes a community, and goes from just a community of just small circles to now big circles. So it even creates borders and all. So for me, I would say, right now it's conversations, right? But I'm seeing this going from just conversations to something that's really more practical, because I believe what we're going to be doing for the start is going to be more of moral support, and from that we can transition to something else. So how we interacting with the community, how we building that trust, so we can navigate, life is complicity, or navigate the complicities of life transitions together in so many ways, because we are we are a team, or we are a group of people with different backgrounds, but also with different experience. So we are bringing all that, and I believe each one of us doing our bit, it's a great contribution, not just to um, a small society, but a bigger society, I would say. And my big expectation for me also, I would say in a nutshell, is to just by talking about this and creating awareness and whatever that will merge from this, to see Africa a bit more and prosperous. Yeah.
Right. Thank
On
you.
Sorry. A
You
little
what?
addition to what I'd say. Because, you know,
when I'm here, I think I have a problem that is really worse that has no solution. If I hear from another person, then that will kind of make me stronger that I'm not alone and I'm not the one suffering the most. Because for me, my problem might be, me, I love speaking facts for life. My problem will be like, damn, my leak is out. What am I going to do? It doesn't mean that I'm addicted, but then I'll start to look for other ways of getting it. Because what causes depression in us or in the youth, we have no satisfaction of what we have. We have this desire because we admire more. It pushes us to where depression is awaiting for us. Actually, depression doesn't come to us. It's us that walk towards it. You get it? Because of the surrounding we have, either the community we are in. If I can speak to my son, because I have a son who's always having issues with girls, and there's no way I'm going to stop him from having them. So he'll come to you and tell you, Mama, you know what? This girl, she likes me, but then she's also liking my best friend, And you're like, come, and you really see him not eating food, not being active, is like he's sick. And all you have to do is be friend with him. Show him that it's okay. If that one goes, it's fine, you can get another. But in what way are you telling him that it's okay? Because you're not pushing him to have many that are going to depress him. This one is asking for this, or this one wants him to do for him this homework, or everyone wants attention, you get. But with you or with us as kings and queens wanting to build a community that is trusted, that people can come to us, as our expectation is, actually that's mine, but I hope it's everyone's expectation in the room, that we can sit and see us changing the community, or changing Africa, or changing the world, because we are speaking to people in the diaspora as well, is that however bad, however difficult, life is so sweet, people. So if I come and hear Rachel lost a job, and I also lost a job, but then we have skills. She can do hair, I can do tailoring. We get together, you do the production or you do the videography, and all. We come together and solve that issue. Yeah, but how do we approach? This is still my question. How are we approaching to these people to show them that it's okay? There is always a solution to everything, There is no problem that cannot be resolved unless you're dead. Because you're dead, we can't do anything for you. But you still have life. You can still smile. You can still hide the pain inside of you. How do we penetrate that pain? Heal it. It's there, but it's healing softly until you feel like you're free. Do you understand? Because now it's the three of us. If we start to ask ourselves what is depressing you, because we all have mental problems. Honestly, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we
So
do.
how are we penetrating through Rachel and Isaac and Ronald?
Well, thank you very much. It's a good thing that you've did she go off?
Oh, I think we've lost her. Yeah, because her network had started hanging, so she might have gone off.
I hope she can get back
Yeah, but
on.
also something I'm learning that you might speak about something as many times, but it's not enough. Um, and why am I saying it's not enough? I mean, it's doing the work, but it's also important to understand first of all what you're dealing with. Let's say for mental health, what are we dealing with, and what are those most big and small issues? Because sometimes people see things that are really small, something like you tell someone, hey, I'm struggling to sleep, or I'm struggling to eat, or you know um I'm feeling stuck, and someone be like, come on, it happens, that's life, or it shouldn't be. I mean, you look healthy, you look good, or something like that. So small issues like those that then become big rather. So I think it's also very important to understand that uh, what mental health really is, or like when your mind is stable, what that can do. I know, Isaac, you are a creative, and I understand, or I know you understand, how it can be really messy when you're not stable in your mind, because you can't create, you can't deliver, like everything doesn't, you feel stuck, everything doesn't make sense. But for some people, they it's it would be hard to understand, right? So I think having, like, speaking about this role playing interactive sessions, and also something like, could be something that's done offline. Yesterday I was attending an amazing event, a network that I'm part of, and this is women in business. You don't necessarily have to have a business to attend. You could be someone that is aspiring to have a business, so you generally just want to learn. And it's called the Candid Conversations. So we were talking about something about self-doubt. So we had people you look up to, people who have amazing businesses. I mean, they're big CEOs. We are talking about billions of return on their businesses, but they were they were sharing from a very experimental point of view. Like, they were showing us their human side, away from, hey, I'm the CEO, or I'm this and that, I'm rich. So they were talking about issues that we also face. They were talking about things they have gone through that we also go through, and how they started, and how they still even, you know,
Like they
yeah,
removed off their titles
yeah,
and put them aside, and they were
right.
human beings first.
Yeah. So I was seated in that room full of women, and there were some few gentlemen, but I saw how much we could all relate, because most times we fear to talk to people because, you think they are too powerful, they're unapproachable, but no one is unapproachable in this world, you know? And they were talking about how self doubt is a disease, like a really, really big disease. Like, people have these amazing ideas, people have this potential that they even fail to tap in because of the self doubt. Like, year in, year out, you're like, how am I going to start this? How people see me? How they think about me? Maybe I'll fail, or maybe this will happen, or maybe that will happen. So you keep making up excuses, or sometimes you've started, but again, because it's still there, sometimes it's from people telling you you can't do that, so you give in to whatever they're telling you. So I was I was in that room, looking at these amazing women that have set standards of accomplishment, because it's not easy, but again, and they have broken barriers in all aspects. So the way the stories they shared, and also the interactive sessions we had, and the takeaways were many. But for me, the highlight was no one is coming to save you, and the decision starts with you. People can talk, there can be access to all the information, there can be all the support you need, but you have to make the decision as a person. You have to be honest with yourself, you know and seek the help that you need, or get that support, that social support, whatever kind of support that you need. So when I talked about the expectations from this, because I know there is already work that's being done, to create mental health awareness, and so many others, like the healthcare doing its work as well. But there's still the stigma that's happening around the whole mental health issues and illnesses, that some people feel unsafe, or feel like they lack the confidence to speak about it. And also, I believe from conversations like this, we can yield so much power that can even change policies around the whole healthcare, and so many other things that could support how mental health is, and could change a whole lot of dynamics and
Yeah,
stereotypes
yeah,
around the
sure.
whole issue. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Myself, I have expectations, and I'm glad a step has already been taken. I, first expectation is getting into the studio and speaking about something. And the fact that I am talking to you right now is already a step taken. But I still expect more, aside from just the conversations, because now this is a conversation that is online. And yes, it is quite important, because we are living in a digital world, and kids out there, youths out there, check through YouTube, and anyone can land on this. Anyone can see this, can have this link, and they will join in to listen, and they will pick a leaf from this. So yes, digitally, we are a global village, and this can always get to anyone out there, which is a
And the
beautiful
tech
state.
generation. So yeah.
Exactly. But now, this is a conversation that is way too formal, because we are speaking a lot of English. We are just saying you might have to do this. Please talk to someone if you're depressed. Please do this. Trust someone. Get yourself busy. You are skilled with something. Distract yourself with the skill that you are blessed with. But again, the person that you're asking to get distracted, for example, might have the skill, but they do not have the necessary equipment, or necessary capital, or necessary support financially, or necessary whatever to start whatever they have to start, to have themselves distracted from, let's say, the suicidal thoughts and whatever. I expect next to blend in, and because so many youths are not fans of just talk, formal talk, because this is as good as formal talk. And between you and I, formal talk is boring. Now, I come in as an artist, someone who does reggae and dancehall music. I'm a poet as well. I love fashion. I'm an actor. I'm a dialogue coach. I love language. So I believe that my set of skills can be used in form of entertainment to tell that someone that, hey, stuff like this has happened to this character, for example, in a field. They have suffered the same way you have suffered. They have gone through so many things, even worse, by the way. But look at how they've been able to get out of that situation. Look at the way they've been able to beat it. Now that is through film. But also stories can be told in music, entertainment. A song can be put down and it is simply telling a story. Someone is going to scroll through their iTunes and they will find a song that will speak to them. They will see that music video on TikTok, and the song in itself is going to speak to them. It's going to encourage them, etc. So I think from this level of simply having a conversation live on YouTube, it can stretch to, let's say, TikTok or Instagram, but be more entertaining than just formal talk. We would have these conversations transition into more versions of edutainment of sorts. Like the last big project that I featured in is called Sabotage, and it touched so many things from sexual abuse at workplaces, illegal abortions, legal abortions, etc. And some of these things, they are the challenges that youths face. I got myself pregnant, but how do I deal with it? I'm not ready to have a child. Should I have it? Should I not have it? I got raped. I just didn't get this pregnancy because I got involved with someone. I got raped. Is it okay for me to go and have an abortion? Is it even legal in the first place? So these themes are being told in a film that is showing in the cinema, for example. So that youth might just go to a cinema and then they watch the movie Sabotage, and it is going to speak to them and they're going to be encouraged. They're going to know that, yes, stuff has happened to you, but it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of life. You can still live on. Who knows? You could have a safe abortion, because so many people get pregnant not because they wanted to get pregnant. So many people get sick not because they intended to get sick. So when you get sick, are you going to fight that sickness, or you're going to bury yourself and die? You get what I mean? So I project that it's not just going to be serious talk here, because it is going to get boring. I project us getting entertainers like footballers, like singers, like film actors, like people that can influence. For example, the next time we might have a conversation, we could have an icon who has had his heart broken. Yeah, their lives are out there in the public. We could have an Eddie Kenzo who got heartbroken by his woman, and she left for another man, but he is still standing strong and he's still doing his music. He's still inspiring. He's still a man.
Right.
Yes, he cried, he wiped his tears, he got up and kept on going. Yes, indeed, it was painful for him, and yes, indeed, it's painful for you, but yes, indeed, it's going to get better, and it's only a matter of time. So a youth out there who is an Eddie Kenzo fan, if they hear something from Eddie Kenzo saying, yo, I cried, you all saw it. I fell to the ground, you all saw it. But look at me. I am talking to you right now like nothing ever happened. So a person that has a big following, a big influence in society, if we have them on these platforms, if we have sessions that may not be entirely about talk, it could be a show, and the talking segment is only a couple of minutes. You will see to it that so many youths are picking it up and they are moving on, and they are not letting themselves be put down by their unstable mental health. Before you know it, it will be a story we just talk about, because everyone is acquainted with the hows and what has to be done to beat it. But most importantly, here in Africa, there are so many avenues we can have this mental health thing beat, but we don't know how. We have psychotherapists, and people feel like bintu bya abazungu oba bintu bya America. You get what I mean? They don't know that this thing is something that can help everyone. You need someone to talk to. You need someone to trust. You need someone to show your vulnerability to, and that's the only way you can get a healing from the
It's
pain, from the loss.
part of our everyday life, and yeah, the ignorance around it is also a problem. So I completely agree, because us alone we can't do the work enough, or we might not reach numbers as we would want. But working with people like influencers, people who they can relate to, or people they look up to, and like, okay, if that person has gone through it, I'll definitely also, cope and manage. Also, it's like I said, it's a tech generation. That means it's even makes the work easier because you're able to reach a wider
Audience.
audience, right? It could be an animated something with a voiceover, and so because some people like me, I enjoy things like that. I would rather watch something like anyway with voices, but I'm still learning, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it could be art like spoken word, it could be graphics like handbooks or something like that. There's something I remember when I was still in, I think, primary or early years of high school. We used to get, they were more like brochures, yeah, if I remember right. And they used to call it PSA. So they were creating awareness about AIDS, how is it spread. They were, and it was also about sex education. So the fact that you would be looking at pictures but also reading, it was really amazing, because then it would give you a proper picture of what you're reading, because sometimes you read something but the way you comprehend it is so different. So that illustration helps you
They help you
understand
digest the entire
something.
story.
Exactly. So things like that, right? Because if you reach this audience that could, listen to a song and understand that, you can also reach another audience through the animated series of mental health awareness
Yeah.
topics. You could reach another audience through bringing on influencers that they can relate to or they look up to.
Yeah.
It could be through short series like on YouTube or Facebook. I mean, there's so many social media platforms where you can put out all this. It could be like organized retreats, group discussions, so many things. And I like this thing. Sometimes I do it with my friends when I want to unwind, but also to catch up on social life, because it's hard when you're working and all that. The paint and sip. As you're painting, you're also talking, but you're also tapping into your mind and you're concentrating, you're focusing. It's really amazing. Yeah. So things like that, activities like that could get people away from their busy lives or troubled lives and make them forget and live in the moment of what's happening, or awaken their creative minds or themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad I got myself into this. It is something I cannot regret, and I'm sure this taking this step is going to take us way far. It's going to touch lives, and at the end of the day, for me, it is fulfilling, because as a human being, I have my fears. As a human being, I have my my depressing moments. I go back home and I think about things. I'm like, why? And sometimes I also feel weak. Sometimes I feel like Should I go on? But again, there's a voice behind me that says, come on, there's so many people that depend on you. Come on, you're too talented to just let it go. Come on, get up and keep running. And this is something that right now is eating up so many people. Depression. I look
Yeah,
through
some
my
are suffering in silence.
yeah, I have just yesterday night when I got back home, there's this organization. It's called Topowa Youth. It's a mentoring organization as well. But what it does majorly is empower not just youth, but it targets usually the teenagers in schools, high schools, teenagers who anyone who is below 18. And the target is to make sure that that youth um,
Isaac, I think you have internet issues. I can't hear you at all. Hi, I'd lost you. I was wondering.
sorry. I got lost into the conversation and I didn't look at the battery icon warning.
Oh,
It just went off. Anyhow, I was telling you about the Topoa Mentoring Youth Organization that
mm-hmm.
targets to mentor youths, mostly teenagers, and also get them, refrain them the best possible way from substance abuse. And the substance abuse, primarily it is alcohol, but there are so many other substances to marijuana, cocaine, etc. Whatever substance there is for a teenager to abuse. But what the tools used are just it's drama. So there's a skit that is put together, and there's actors who do drama on stage, and they are portraying lives of teenagers. There's obviously a responsible teenager and that crazy ass teenager, and they tell a story, and this story is comprehended as easy because it is broken into drama, if you get what I mean. So
Right.
there's people that work with this organization in the background to mentor that youth, to encourage that youth, to let them know that they have a future, as away from getting themselves wasted in substance abuse. So there's a lady who works in the background, and she's depressed over something, and I can only see it through the status that she's putting up. And I just sent her a voice note to tell her whatever is happening, it's going to get better, it's going to be fine. Please stay strong. You can't lose faith. You can't lose hope in life. You know, you have to keep fighting. And this alone gives her the courage to, fight on. But she is speaking, I could die, I could do this, I could. So it is something that is everywhere, and so many people are suffering in silence. They don't know exactly what to do. They don't have that person to encourage them and tell them you are important, you are valuable, you are good. Keep living. As long as you live, you will also have an impact on society. So don't give up. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I am sure not so long from today, there's going to be a bigger number joining in online. The numbers have been fluctuating from 8 to 10, back to 5, back to 10. It's a very small number, but I am sure very soon people are going to love these conversations and are going to benefit a lot from them. Yeah. The 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 flyer
Actually,
that we
I think the numbers always come as long as you're doing something that's really good and something that's, creating impact. And also, I always tell myself, I can't, like, you can't save everyone, but you do your bit and contribute to what's already been done and what will benefit the future, or what will benefit the circumstances in the time you are in. So we are doing our bit, yeah, and I have confidence that it's going to grow into something that's, like I said, just these conversations. I see that. I see
the
that.
the
Yeah.
beauty about this is we are not robots. We are equally humans who go through the same things. So at least it is a human being speaking to a fellow human being. It's not AI. So if someone hears from me that, come on, I have gone through the same thing that you are going through, but I am out of it now because I've been able to fight it like ABC, XYZ. You can do it yourself. It is already an impact to that someone. So I am not saying I'm not speaking from let's say theory. I read books. I am speaking with authority because these things have happened to me as well. These things have happened to you.
The
So
human
they are happening.
experience. Yeah.
Yes, they're happening to that person out there who is following, who is listening, and they are going to go away. They are never permanent. So, to whoever is following us online, thank you very much. It is. I am very sure you are picking something out of this, and trust me, whatever you are picking, be able to reflect on it, but also relay it to that person that you know is going through a lot of hardship. These conversations are going to keep happening every Friday. We are going to be live every Friday at 6 p.m. East African time, and 5 is, or rather 11 a.m. American time. So be assured that these conversations are going to be beneficial to not just you, but to your neighbor, to your brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, or whoever might be affected by um, by mental health. So we have a number of quite a number of causes of mental health, and the streams that we shall be having moving forward, we intend to tackle each one of them entirely in depth. We intend to touch each one of them. We have about 12 listed. There could be more. We would be glad to engage you to give us a bigger list such that we keep talking about this. If you have any other cause or any cause, kindly get to the comment section, comment with any cause of mental health, depression, or whatever, and we shall be able to tackle each one of them in detail moving forward every Friday. So I would like to use this chance to just walk through the causes that we listed. We have causes of mental illness in youth, not just youth, but every other person, every other, because these mental health illnesses do not only affect youths, they affect literally everyone. And allow me just touch
Though
the
youth is
ones.
the biggest, sorry to interrupt you. Though youth is the biggest like number in Africa, even
Yeah,
Uganda. Yeah, so it's important that it's had more amongst the youth, or
plus they're the biggest population anyway.
yeah, like target the youth as the biggest audience.
Okay, thank you. So we have negative family environment, bullying, chronic illness, substance use amongst parents, even amongst the youths themselves, early loss, parental depression, demands at school or work, divorce, family conflict, loss of close relationship or friends, sexual abuse, trauma, etc. So the etc. is for that cause of mental illness that you have in mind. You could just get it to the comment section and give it to us, and then we shall be discussing all of this in depth moving forward. So today was only an introduction of what Kings and Queens is all about. And this is to tell you that we are not just a team who get into studio to have this live. We intend to have every one of you as a partner to fight mental illness amongst the youths in Africa and the rest of the world. So none of us is going to be like, I am at the helm of Kings and Queens. No, all of us are at the helm, and this is a battle that we all have to fight. We have to hold each other's hands, and we fight this together. Because again, I am not the king alone. You two are the king. You two are the queen. So all of us are kings and queens. And as long as we have our hands uh, uh, i- i- cling onto each other's hands and stretch a hand to hold that person, to hug that person, it's not going to end. Of course, it cannot end to zero, but we can reduce it, we can minimize it, we can try to do away with the too much, because right now it is too much. So you and I, king and queen, are going to fight this, and we are going to make it. Unless you have something to say, Rachel. Um, we have to get whining on this.
Well, I think we've talked pretty much about everything that we wanted to talk about today. Just as you, I'm very much excited, and I have so much hope and so much enthusiasm of what's going to become all of this. Like, away from just the conversations, building a community, and so many other things. So, I'll be looking forward to each Friday whether I'm on or not. I'll be looking forward to each Friday of learning and sharing with whoever will be on the show.
I promise every one of you who got yourselves online, this is going to get fun. We are going through a lot of pain, a lot of hardships, and we are having a conversation here, which is a good step. But trust me, it is going to be more than a conversation. It's going to be fun packed with so many other activities. So, yes, you and I will have to get ourselves into better positions by having fun. So, allow me say good night to everyone that got online. Thank you for joining this, and let's catch up next Friday, same time.
Thank you, Isaac. Have a lovely night, and whoever is watching.
Thank you
See you
too,
next
Rachel.
time.
See ya.